Hello, everybody, and welcome to our daily check-in. I'm outside. It's kind of loud, but my kids were inside doing some things, so I figured I would come out and do my check-in video out here. So the last couple of days, I have talked about a couple of books. One I'm currently reading, which I haven't finished, and then one that had an impact on me, The Happiness Project. So there's another book that I want to talk about. So many years ago, um, Mrs. Reed and I went to a conference on character education in Virginia. And one of the guest speakers was a man named Hal Urban. And I remember that he had made this comment, and I probably have said in class before, but I know I always tell teachers this in the summer. There is a very famous quote that he mentioned that says, "Whatever you accept, you promote." So if people aren't being nice to you and you accept it, you're encouraging them to do so. If you have people tell you that you're a failure or you're a loser or you don't have any friends or whatever it might be that they say mean to you, and you just accept it, it's like you're promoting it to keep happening, but then you're probably going to start believing it, which isn't true. So this particular book that he wrote called Life's Greatest Lessons, or 20 Life Greatest Lessons, I read it and it really did have an impact on me. Now, I've misplaced the book, but I do have some information about the book that I wanted to share with you because I really do think it's relevant to kind of the things that we're doing. So I'm just going to put this one piece over here. Hopefully my book thing won't blow away. So I'm going to talk about some various things that he brings up in his book. I have some notes. I'm kind of doing some cheat sheets to help me with this today. But one of the things he writes about is he says, life is not obligated to make us happy. We are responsible to accept life as it is and make the most of it. Now, I have two feelings about this. If you feel like your life is not going the way you want it to, you shouldn't just accept that. Do what you can to make it better. But it is true that life is what you make of it. It's just like with things of what you make of it. So I'll give you an example from a personal experience from when I was younger. And I'm sure my sister's can attest to this. We used to have these holiday gatherings, and in my mind, I would already tell myself I was not going to have a good time. I was going to be miserable. I wasn't going to eat anything. I was just going to make a point that I'm going to be unhappy. And you know what happened on all those holiday gatherings? I was unhappy, and I said, "See, I told you I was right." But the reality of that situation is that I did that to myself. I didn't have to be that way. Okay, I could have said, you know what, this is going to be a good time, and I'm going to have fun. Mrs. Swaim always jokes and says that, I don't know if you know who she is, but she's a friend of mine. She'd always be like, you're a curmudgeon. Try to have some fun. So I'm telling you, try to make the best out of your life situation, and it'll be good. Okay, so I know that sometimes that you feel like your choices or whatever events that you are occurring are not, you feel like, oh, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. Hello. And so a quote from this particular book, this is somebody walking in front of me. It's awfully awkward sometimes making these videos outside and people are walking by and I'm like, yeah, I'm not weird out here making videos. Okay, so there's a quote. It says, the greatest power that a person possesses is the power to choose. Like, do you choose to be happy? Do you choose to be miserable? Do you choose to sit on the couch or do you choose to go out and play? Do you choose to have a conversation at dinner with your family or do you choose to be quiet? Do you choose to do your homework or do you choose not to do your homework? It really does come down to choice. Now, not everything obviously isn't choice, but I think the majority of the decisions that we make, it's based on choice. For example, if my wife would ever say something to me and I wanted to come back with a snarky comment, I have to sit and choose. I can say it. I have that choice and that power to do that. However, there's consequences with the choice that I make. So if I say something snarky and it hurts my wife's feelings, then there's consequences for what I've said. So you really want to stop and think sometimes before you do anything, right? Because every choice we make has consequences, good or bad. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so a few more that I want to talk about, and the majority is going to be spent on this book, but I'm just trying to give you some lessons that help me, and I'm just trying to help you guys. It says, we choose our attitude towards life. And Urban, the author, cites that a study from Harvard University found that 85% of our success in life is due to attitude and 15% is due to ability. Now, obviously, studies, some are accurate, some are not. You just don't know. But the reality is, your attitude towards things really does matter. There's always that self-fulfilling prophecy. If your attitude about yourself is very negative, well, then you're probably going to have a very horrible life experience because you're just going to look at the negative in everything that happens to you. Okay? Excuse me, a gnat. So, having a positive attitude is important. I'm not telling you it's easy. Okay, sometimes even I struggle with having a positive attitude, but you have to keep trying until it becomes habit. Once it becomes habit, then it's awesome. So that's also why I keep trying to give you these life lessons, because I'm just trying to let you know that sometimes, even as an adult, it's hard, but I'm trying to help you guys now so it's not so difficult. So having a positive attitude is very, very important. Okay, so another thing that he brings up, which I think is great, it says it's not how much we have, but how much we enjoy. We did that self-perception, that concept of like the grass is always greener on the other side, meaning, maybe someone's house is nicer, maybe they have a nicer car, better clothes. I think sometimes you just have to appreciate the things that you have. Like, I remember that when I was living in an apartment, which at one point I did live in apartments in Randolph, okay, because I had just got married, and my wife and I both worked very close, so I enjoyed living in an apartment near school, which is great. But I remember the entire time I was living there, I was like, I want a bigger place. I want a bigger place. I don't want to live in an apartment forever. I wanted a bigger place. And I remember that, when we moved, a few times, and each time you get to a location, you're already thinking about possibly living somewhere else or doing something differently, as opposed to appreciating what you have. Like my car is old. It's like 10 years old. But I sometimes I need to tell myself, well, it's paid off, it's great, I don't have to pay anymore, and it works great, and it's going to last a long time. So even myself, I have to appreciate the positive. So when you think about, whether or not you have the latest phone or the nicest computer or the newest trends or fashions, sometimes you have to appreciate what you have. And it's not even just with things. Think about your family. A lot of times we take our family for granted, and we shouldn't do that. Okay, you want to make sure that you tell your family you love them and you appreciate the moments. Like, remember a couple days ago we talked about time. Nobody is too good to overcome like a time, meaning every time is precious. So you should be using it to your advantage to make the most of your life, right? Now, yeah, so you want to definitely enjoy the things that you have. I think that's really the key, right? To enjoy things that you have. And speaking of time, it says time is life. It is irreversible and irreplaceable. To waste your time is to waste your life, but to master your time is to master your life and make the most of it. That is also by a man, if I say his name wrong, I do apologize. It's Alan Lakin, I think. But it's true. You have to take the time and appreciate those moments. It's funny because for our honeymoon, my wife and I went to Hawaii, which it was the first time I ever left the continental U.S. And although it is part of the United States, it felt like I was going to another country because it was so far to get there. But when we were there, we were doing our typical touristy things, and I remember one of the people said, "Have you ever heard of a Hawaiian minute?" And I didn't know what he meant. And what he was saying is that if you hear someone say it's a Hawaiian minute, it means it's probably going to be like an hour, okay? Because people in Hawaii go on Hawaiian time. It's just very chill. And I kind of could connect with that because when I went to school in Louisiana, it was very laid back there too. They weren't in any rush. Whereas I feel like in New Jersey, everything is just go, 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 go. And we can't live like that. So sometimes you got to take a moment. But if you can have a Hawaiian minute and just maybe take a little relaxation on the couch and just kind of get your mind straight, that's always a good thing to do too. I keep hearing like crickets or something behind me, and I feel like some animal's gonna like pop out as I'm in the middle of my video. Okay, so just make sure that you enjoy time and enjoy the moment with your family. There goes the air conditioner. Okay, now one of the things, oops, it looks like I dropped my paper, is the idea of kindness, right? And, oops, sorry, I'm like losing my stuff all over. And it says, kind words do not cost much, yet they accomplish much. And the one thing that I hope, sorry, I'm just picking up my mess, is that you feel that I, as your teacher, have been giving you good advice, kind advice, and hopefully have taught you the importance of kindness, because that is definitely my thing. I appreciate when people are kind to me, and I do what I can to be kind to others. And kindness does go a long way, and it can be little acts of kindness. It doesn't have to be some massive things. But the one thing about being kind, right? When you can help others, it gets like the inside of you feeling better. And I think that's kind of for me, like I feel like I need purpose, right? Everyone's like, what's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of life? I feel like I was put on this earth to make people feel better. Or to make people understand the importance of kindness. Like I feel like that is my mission in life, okay? So I make these videos for you because I'm trying to help you deal with being home, but I'm also trying to give you whatever life lessons I can, because I know your parents are giving you these lessons, and I want you to see, like, they're not alone. I'm trying to help them because I think together we want the best for you, right? Your teachers and your parents. And I know sometimes, when I tell my kids something, they're just like, whatever, what do you know? But when a teacher says the same thing, they're just like, oh yeah, I can do that. And I'm always like, what? I said that exact same thing, and you were like, you crazy. Yet when they say it, you're like, oh. So I'm also doing this because if your parents are telling you these things, if your parents are telling you these things, I want you to know it's legit, it's real, right? So this advice you're getting from your parents is good stuff. So make sure you take it. So there's a book, I don't remember how I got it, and I feel terrible that I can't remember, but I didn't get a chance to start reading it yet, but I'm going to. But I wanted to, maybe I got into school, I can't even remember, but I want to just talk about this book cover. Okay, so this is the cover of the book. I might have gotten this from the PTO or something, I can't remember. But whoever gave me this book, and if I forgot it was you, I really do apologize, and I do want to read it. But it says, today I made a difference. And these are stories about teachers. But putting that aside, have you made a difference today in your life? Did you make somebody happy today? Did you give somebody a compliment? Did you tell your parents you love them? Did you say something nice to a sibling? Did you reach out to a friend and just said, I'm so happy we're friends? Whatever it is. Every day you should try to make a difference, okay? For the positive, not in a negative, for the positive, right? So it's getting closer to summer. It's like the craziest end of the year ever. I still am trying to process it. But what I want to get across to you is that if this is the first video you've ever seen that I've done, look at some of the old ones. Just know that if you were ever in a situation and you just need to hear somebody yap, go on and on and on, you can watch any of these videos. There are over 60 of them. It's hard to even imagine that. But, so that book, 20 Life Greatest Lessons, had an impact on me. And it has made me realize the importance that I have to appreciate the things that I have, and I have to use my time valuably, and I need to make sure that I say kind things to people, because literally they cost nothing, okay? So here's my kind words to you guys. I think you guys are awesome. You have made this year fun, and even with your silliness, I appreciate all of you and all your little individual characteristics and little quirks, etc. So I do hope you have an amazing day. Until our next check-in, which will be tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, and I'm thinking about you guys always. And until next time, peace out, people.